My Saudi Soul Journey by Alice Phillips. Day 1. Arrival in Riyadh. The moment I stepped out into Riyadh's desert heat, I felt a buzz. Like the air itself carried a centuries-old story waiting to be told. A warm smile from the Memphis Tours team welcomed me. Just like that, the adventure had begun. My hotel room was cool, quiet, a contrast to the lively rhythm of the capital outside. I dropped my bags, looked out the window at a skyline dancing between tradition, modernity, felt the familiar rush I get every time I arrive somewhere completely new. Summary of the day. First steps in a country that already feels ancient, futuristic in the same breath. Day 2, Riyadh Day Tour. My morning began with the golden mud brick walls of Diriyah. Walking through the birthplace of the first Saudi state, I could almost hear merchants calling out prices in the old market. Camels trotting through alleyways. The architecture whispered of a rich, resilient culture built from the desert up. Then came Masmak Fort, towering, defiant. I ran my H's along its thick walls, imagined the battles it once witnessed. Nearby, Deir Souk burst into color. Silks, pashminas shimmered, calling out to be touched. I couldn't resist a vibrant red scarf. Lunch followed. Let's just say, spicy, tangy, unforgettable. The National Museum pulled me deep into the story of Arabia, from the stars to civilization, in 8 beautiful galleries. Murabba Palace, a royal echo of a time not so long ago. I stood in the Royal Diwan, tried to picture King Abdul Aziz crafting a kingdom. Summary of the day. I time-traveled from mud walls to museum halls. Riyadh's spirit caught me completely off guard. Day 3. Flight to Al Ula, Madin Saleh exploration. Flying northwest, I watched the desert swirl below in endless shades of gold rust. Then Al Ula. That afternoon, I found myself surrounded by the haunting majesty of Madain Saleh. The tombs carved into the cliffs, like Qasr al-Farid, stood in solemn grandeur. Stories buried beneath layers of stone silence. Our guide pointed out details in the carvings. Symbols of life, power, death. I felt small, humbled, awestruck. Summary of the day. I stood in the shadow of a forgotten empire, felt more alive than ever. Day 4. Dadan, Jabal Ikma, and Elephant Rock. The air was crisp as we set off. First, Dadan, tombs carved into the red rock. Lion sculptures guarding the dead. It was eerie, beautiful. Then to Jabal Ikma, an open-air library carved into stone. Thousands of inscriptions, languages I couldn't read, but felt like poetry anyway. Wearing through Al Ula Old Town's alleys, I was struck by silence, broken only by the occasional bird or crunch of gravel underfoot. The oasis farms smelled of earth water, so rare here, so cherished. Then, as the sun dipped low, we met Elephant Rock. There she was, this towering stone elephant rising out of the desert, like a myth come to life. I sipped mint tea barefoot in the space, watching her silhouette deepen against the twilight. Summary of the day. The desert is loud if you know how to listen. Day 5. Flight to Jeddah. I didn't want to leave Al Ula, but Jeddah called. After a smooth flight the city by nightfall. Palms swayed along wide avenues. The scent of the Red Sea lingered in the air. The vibe? Instantly different. More coastal, more relaxed. I checked into the hotel, took a deep breath, couldn't wait to dive into this port city's past. Summary of the day. a quiet transition from stone tombs to salty sea breeze. Day 6, day trip to Medina by train, speeding across the desert at 300 kilometers per hour on a sleek high-speed train. Now that's how to start a day. Medina welcomed us with reverence. Our first stop, the International Fair Museum of the Prophet's Biography, was deeply moving. Though I couldn't enter the mosques, just staying near the Prophet's Mosque, Kiba Mosque, linked by the tranquil Kiba Street, gave me goosebumps. Lunch in a local spot was flavorful, hearty. I tasted history in every bite. Souk Taiba offered a burst of energy, spices, perfumes, locals chatting with the ease of a place steeped in devotion, daily rhythm. Summary of the day. The stillness of Medina settled into my bones, sacred even from the outside. Day 7. Jeddah Deep Dive. Taibat Museum was a whirlwind. 4 floors of stories. I traced the evolution of Arabian culture from ancient weaponry to delicate manuscripts. Then, out to the Jeddah Open Museum, sculptures rose against the sea, like giants frozen in time. The floating mosque caught my breath, glistening, serene, almost otherworldly. King Fahd's fountain, it soared, defiant, dazzling, salt water flying into the sky. The roar of it was unforgettable. But my favorite moment? Wearing Al-Balad, the old coral houses, Nasif House in particular, felt alive with memories. Wooden beams stretched wide like open arms. History here isn't hidden. It's worn proudly on every wall. Summary of the day. Jeddah danced between waves' whispers, between salt spray, sacred memory. Day 8. Farewell, Saudi Arabia. My last breakfast was bittersweet. I looked around the hotel lobby, suitcase in hand, already nostalgic. This country had challenged my expectations, cracked open a part of my soul I didn't know was waiting. Final impression. Saudi Arabia. An unfolding scroll of stone. Silence. Soul.